guys, so I am back again, and so now I guess while I am on camera and I was already recording something, I will talk to you about my Shea Moisture dye experience. And I would have to say, to be perfectly honest, I think my hair is in better shape now colored than it was before the color. So I'll start you off, like I said before. Evelyn from Spicy Eve had sent me 2 boxes of the Shea Moisture Bright Auburn hair color, and that's what I use to dye my hair. So if you have not seen that video, I'll leave it down in the description box below if you're interested in seeing how my hair was dyed. I waited until after graduation to dye my hair because I had a job interview that Monday after graduation, which I still have not heard back from, so keep your fingers crossed. They were supposed to let me know, I think next week they're gonna let me know. So what else? My friend ended up dyeing my hair, and neither one of us had ever dyed hair before, and I have a lot of hair. My hair was dyed on dirtied hair. It had not been freshly washed or anything like that. It was after I had done the curl former tutorial, which I'll also link down in the description box below if you want to see that. And after I think about 5 days of having the curl formers in my hair, I just lightly kind of finger detangled them out, as well as used my dimming brush here to detangle as much as I could. But I didn't get really close to the roots of my hair to detangle because it was detangling on dry hair, so it kind of felt, it hurt pretty much. I'm tender-headed, so it hurt. And so we started with the front section of my hair because we weren't sure if it was going to be enough dye to do the whole head. So we started with the front because I at least wanted the front section of my hair to be done. And so we ended up using 1 bottle of dye for the front of my hair and 1 bottle of dye for the back of my hair. So that's one downside of it, is that you don't get a lot of product with the Shea Moisture dye kits. Now, I'm no dye expert. This is my first time dyeing my hair, so I don't know if it's the same amount of product that you would get in another dye kit or not. But you ended up getting about 5 ounces of product once you mix the developer with the color. So 5 ounces of product, 5 ounces of dye that has to saturate your whole head, to me, is not an awful lot of product unless you have really, really short hair. And if I haven't mentioned, the Shea Moisture dye can be found at Target. They're not carried in all stores, but they are carried online now. So you can look at the Target online to find the Shea Moisture dye, and they retail for $14.99, which I think is a bit expensive to be an inbox dye, since I've seen dyes go for about $5, $6, $7 before. So I don't know. But the difference between this dye and some other dyes is it's supposed to have less harsh ingredients and it's supposed to be more moisturizing. You're not stripping to the hair. But this is not the only dye that does not have ammonia. So do not think that this is the only option that you have if you do not want to use an ammonia dye. There are other dyes that you can use that do not have ammonia. So please research whatever you feel the need to do, and please do a strand test. I did a strand test in my hair. I ended up using shed hair that I had collected from a detangling session. I had just seen it in the garbage and I pulled it out. And I did a strand test on that. At first I was going to do it on my actual hair, but I was scared of what would happen, so I just used shed hair. But typically you're supposed to do it on a patch of hair that's already in your hair, or cut a patch out, which I was not about to cut anything out, so I just used shed hair to do it. And so, like I said, I ended up doing it on dirty hair. And it took us about maybe 20 minutes to put the dye all over my head. And so once the dye was done with the front part of my head, I started a 45-minute timer. And then she started doing the back part of my head. And so while that 40 minutes was going on, I was just cleaning off everything that we ended up using. So our shirts and stuff ended up getting dirty. It's a kind of messy experience, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would have been. What else can I share? As the dye was processing on my hair, it did slightly burn in the front. and specifically in these two sections right here, which ironically enough, I don't know if you can see it right now, but these are like the lightest two sections here on my temples. So this section right here and this section right here. So it was kind of burning just a bit towards the end, and so I just went on and rinsed it out. So I let it ended up sitting in my hair for about 45 minutes to an hour, and then I rinsed it out. So I did one rinse and tried to rinse out as much color as I can, and then I did a shampoo and it was still red, so I ended up doing another shampoo, and that's the shampoo that you saw on camera. And so then I put in the conditioner that they gave us, and I left that on overnight. And so when I rinsed that out the next day, my hair was very, very soft, probably the softest it has been in a long, long time. And I styled my hair. I can't remember what I used, but I ended up styling my hair in the wash and go. And so after that, I washed my hair, I think a week later when I was in Chicago, and my hair bled still. It wasn't a whole lot of bleeding, but it was still noticeably bleeding. And I even was still getting product on my, dye on my shirt while I was styling my hair. And so that was my first wash post coloring. And so my second wash post coloring is the style that you see in my hair now, which is when I used the Wild Cherry Bark shampoo from Puregasm, and I still was experiencing some bleeding of my color. So this is now my second wash, and I'm getting ready to do my third wash, and I'm still experiencing a little bit of bleeding of my color. So I guess that's typical. I don't know how much longer it's gonna stay, but I will come back and update you later and let you know how many washes it took for my color to actually stop bleeding. So far it's still doing a little bit of bleeding, which is to be expected since red particles are bigger, a lot bigger than some of the other color particles, so they kind of slip out the hair. But my dye job, I think, is very, very good. My hair does not feel stripped at all, and my hair actually feels very, very conditioned post dye. Like after I flat ironed my hair last year, my hair had some like hang time. It wasn't, I guess, heat damaged or anything. It just, I don't know, it kind of felt elongated. And so like if you look at past wash and goes that I've done, my hair always sat like down here somewhere, even when dry, depending on the product. And so now my hair has now shrunken up a whole lot, which means my curls are very strengthened and strong, and it kind of reminds me of after I did a cassia treatment, which I used to always love because it drawed up my hair, but it still left my hair very clumped together and very defined and everything like that. So far I don't have many complaints about the Shea Moisture dye, and so I just wanted to update you guys. And if you have any other questions about either the dye, how my hair feels, the process, how I'm taking care of it afterwards, to me my maintenance care has been no different. I still wash my hair maybe once every 1 or 2 weeks. I still rotate my products. I do not have a consistent regimen or consistent set of products that I use. So I haven't had any problems or anything with it. I do think the price is a bit hefty. So $14.99 for a box kit. If you have a lot of hair, that means you got to get 2. So that's $30. And then you're going to spend $30. To me, at that point, you might as well just go ahead and go to a professional to get your color done. And so will I retouch this color? I don't know. Now that I've gotten my fear of dye out the way, I kind of either want to dye my hair blue or I want to dye it purple. So by winter time it will be purple, but I don't know if sometime in this summer or fall if I'll end up doing it blue. We'll see. So this was a good experience for me. It let me, you know, get myself out there and get over some of my fears. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions, like I said, leave them down in the comment section below and I'll be sure to answer them. And if there are enough, then I'll just do a second update video, especially when I show when the color stopped bleeding. Alright, bye.